Hello, everyone. My name is Zulfiqar, and welcome to another episode of Income Investors. With me today is John Whitefoot with another exciting income pick. If you want to read more about what John writes on a regular basis, you can head to incomeinvestors.com, where you can find the link to the website in the description below. In the lead up to the 2020 US presidential election, the Democrats said they were the best option for getting cannabis legalized on the federal level. They took Washington, but legalization never happened. President-elect Donald Trump has said he favors leaving it up to individual states to decide whether to legalize it or not. That's great. But that still means that it's illegal on the federal level, which means cannabis companies cannot access traditional financial institutions for capital. The outlook for federal legalizing is heating up, though. Politicians like winning elections and doing what their constituents want. Today, a whopping 66% of American voters are in favor of legalizing marijuana at the federal level for adults over the age of 21. That's a lot of voters. Democrats, Republicans, and independents who have money to spend and potential tax dollars. Even if President-elect Donald Trump does get banking legislation passed, there will still be cannabis companies that prefer to deal with alternative lenders. This includes mortgage, real estate investment trusts, or REITs. One REIT that is taking advantage of current weakness and uncertainty in the cannabis industry is Chicago Atlantic Real Estate Finance, Inc. They're traded on NASDAQ under symbol REFI. John?
Yeah, thanks, Mo. Yeah, Chicago Real Estate Finance, Inc. is a commercial real estate company that originates, structures, and invests in first mortgage loans and alternative structured financing secured by commercial real estate properties to companies in the cannabis industry. The company's loan portfolio is primarily comprised of senior secured loans to state licensed cannabis operators and property owners. Now, since 2019, the company has sourced and closed over $2.3 billion in credit facilities and closed more than 80 cannabis loans. Now, the cannabis landscape has changed a lot over the years. The U.S. cannabis industry is estimated to be, I think it's $32.1 billion this year in 2024, and projected to grow to $58 billion by 2030. Now, according to Chicago Atlantic, the current value of the U.S. cannabis debt market is estimated to be approximately $11 billion. Now, with its closed cannabis loans to date, $1.98 billion, the company has captured approximately 17% of the current U.S. cannabis debt market. Now, fast forward to 2030, projected sales of $58 billion in retail sales should Chicago Atlantic simply maintain its current debt market share of 17%. It could grow to approximately $3.5 billion.
It reported another solid quarter recently.
Yeah, absolutely. For the third quarter ended September 30th, 2024, Chicago Atlantic announced net interest income increased almost 6% on an annual basis and 10% on a quarterly basis to $14.5 million. Now, net income rallied 13% on an annual basis and roughly 22% on a quarterly basis to approximately $11.2 million or 56 cents per diluted share. Now, the all-important distributable earnings increased 6.6% on an annual basis and 12% on a sequential basis to 56 cents per share. Now, at the end of the third quarter, Chicago Atlantic had a total loan principal outstanding of, I think it's $362.2 million across 29 portfolio companies with $6 million unfunded commitment. The portfolio weighted average yield to maturity was approximately 18.3% compared with 18.7% as of June 30th, 2024, and that was primarily due to repricing.
If you like what you see so far, check out incomeinvestors.com. While you're there, you could also sign up for our free special report titled 3 Income Stocks to Own Today. One of those stocks currently has a dividend yield of 12.7%. You can find the link to incomeinvestors.com in the description below. And now back to the video. And John, REFI announced a special dividend in the fourth quarter.
Well, that's an interesting question. Chicago Atlantic has elected to be taxed as a REIT, which means it has to distribute at least 90% of its taxable income to shareholders in the form of a dividend. In October, it paid a regular cash dividend of 47 cents per common share. It works out to an annual distribution of $1.88 per share for a forward dividend yield of 11.75%. Now, to maintain its status as a REIT, Chicago Atlantic sometimes needs to pay additional dividends over and above the regular quarterly dividend to meet its annual taxable income distribution requirement. Historically, this has led to the company paying a special dividend. It paid a special dividend of 29 cents per share in the fourth quarter of 2022 and 2023. Shareholders will, of course, find out if they get a special fourth quarter dividend when the company announces its full year results in early 2025.
And John, finally, the ultra high dividend yielding Chicago Atlantic recently hit a record high.
Yeah, ultra high yield dividend stocks are typically tied to companies whose shares are depressed, and that's because dividend yield and share price have an inverse relationship. Fortunately, that's not the case with Chicago Finance. REFI Stock hit an all-time intraday high of $16.24 on December 4th. Now, as of this recording, REFI stock is up around a little less than 10% year to date and about 18.5% year over year. And with dividends reinvested, REFI stock is also up around 39% since we first looked at it in December of 2022. Now, despite the big gains, Wall Street sees Chicago Atlantic stock hitting fresh highs over the coming year, analysts providing a 12-month share price target of $20.
John, thank you so much for your insights. Chicago Atlantic Real Estate Finance Inc. is a great REIT operating in a highly fragmented U.S. cannabis sector. Because of current laws, cannabis companies have to turn to alternative lenders like Chicago Atlantic. Moreover, cannabis being illegal on the federal level has not dissuaded conservative Wall Street from taking a big piece out of Chicago Atlantic. 133 institution holders have a 37.48% stake in Chicago Atlantic. BlackRock Inc. is the biggest holder with 7.5% stake, followed by Vanguard, which is about 4.99%, and Fielder Capital Group LLC with a 3.16% stake. We suspect more institutional investors will step up over the coming quarters. The outlook for debt financing in the medical and recreational cannabis industry remains extremely robust. By 2030, U.S. sales of cannabis are expected to rival spirits and wine. Thanks to a strong pipeline in both existing sales and growing number of new states that have recently added adult use or soon to do so, Chicago Atlantic is well positioned for balance of the year and into 2025. And that bodes well for REFI earnings, its stock, and dividends. That's it for today. And make sure to go to incomeinvestors.com now to get our free special report on 3 income stocks to own today. One of those stocks currently has a dividend yield of 12.7%. You can find the link to incomeinvestors.com in the description below. We'll be back with more income picks soon, so stay tuned. And in the meantime, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye for now.